Okay, welcome back. This is RL1-7. So we'll be modifying the door and window tag families and also tagging the doors and windows. So in Revit, what they would call a symbol would be a family. So for example, you've already been working with families. So like this is the wall family, this is the window family, this is the door family, this is the roof family. And then we have family types within that. So in this case, what we need to do is change the door tag. And the reason why we're changing the door tag is because the default setup for the tag isn't really correct. So we're going to make some minor changes here. So let's go to the first floor view. It actually doesn't matter if you're on the first or second floor because the tags are available on either floor. And then we're going to go in the project browser. You're going to go down to the bottom and you're looking for the families category and you're hitting the plus. So these are all the different families that are loaded already into the project. So some of these we won't use, but we'll leave them in there anyway. And then we're looking for the annotation symbols. That's the first subcategory. So we're clicking the plus again. And these are all the different annotation type symbols or annotation type elements. So now we're going to go down until we find the door tag family. Went too far. It's in alphabetical order. And you don't have to expand this, but this is the family type. So some tags have, or some families have their own file, some do not. So like, for example, when we get to the railing, there is no separate family file. It's just a family within the drawing file. But this one does have a separate file, so we're going to right-click on this door tag text and then go to Edit. So this is going to open up the door tag RFA file. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to create a masking region. So by default, there's no masking region here. So if we add the tags in, the extension line of the dimension would cut right through it. We don't want that. We want it to break. So we're going to go to the masking region tool. And that's just going to create a masked out region. And we want to match the capsule of the edge of the symbol. So we're going to go to pick line, and then we'll pick the two arcs and the two horizontal lines. So we need to have a complete boundary, and then we'll hit the green check. Easy enough, hopefully. So now let's go to the label setting now. So we're going to click on the 101 text. So right now this is set up to show each separate door as a unique number. We don't want to do that. We want to show the same number if the door is the same. So we're going to change the label here. So you're going to click on the edit button next to label. Right now it's set to mark, which allows you to have a different mark for each door. We're going to get rid of that. So I'm hitting the red X or the red arrow here. We are removing the parameter from the label parameters list. Now you're going to go down to type mark and hit the green and then hit OK. So you're going to see it change to this 1T setting. Okay, so now that we've finished this, and we can save this for another project if you'd like. I don't have you do this in the book, but maybe we'll do this anyway. So let's go ahead and do a save as. Family, you'll notice the project and template and all that is grayed out. And we're going to just save this in our residential project folder, and we'll just call this door tag mask in the correct case. There, that's better. So now we have a copy of this. But if you've ever modified a family, you can always go back into the drawing file where it's located and open it up and save it as a separate family file. Okay, so we're going to load this into the project and close. Okay. Now, in the book, it said you should see an overwrite existing version check, but we didn't do that. Instead, we added an additional family. If we had just changed this without changing the name, it would have come up. So, but this is actually a better way of doing it, I think, because now you have two different options for the door tag. So now let me show you the differences here. So we're going to go and tag this one door. So I'm going to go to Annotate, Tag by Category. We don't want the leader on, so I'm going to turn that off. And then you can see when I mouse over the door, okay, there's the tag. Now you can see how it's masking out, right? See? If I went with the regular tag, let me pick this and change it. See, I'm using the door tag mask type. If I went to door tag, see what it does? Shows this as a number 1, and the extension line cuts through. We don't want that. So I'm going to put this back on door tag mask. Okay, we'll worry about the letter and number later. Okay, so now let's go to, we're going to pick the entire drawing. So we're going to do a tag all. We're tagging the doors. And then we're going to hit OK. So all the remaining doors should tag. So this is a nice way of doing the tags all at once. So now you're going to manipulate the tags so that they're about halfway between the outside face of the wall and the first dimension line. So you can just kind of estimate that by eye. You can also nudge these with the keyboard as well. So that looks about halfway. Okay, now let's go to the window tag and do the same thing. So we're going to go down to the window tag. This time we're not going to create a new name. We're just going to edit this one and then load it back into the project. So the only thing we have to change here is we're going to create the masking region. The window tag by default is already set up to show the tag or the window type. So I'm going to do pick lines. So we'll just pick the edge of the hexagon. There we are. Then we're just going to hit load in the project. And then here's that family already exists dialog box. And we're going to overwrite. Okay, so now let's go to tag all again. And we're going to tag the windows this time. I'm just going to check the window tags checkbox and then hit OK. So now you should see all the window tags pop up. Okay, so now what we need to do is renumber the doors and the windows. So I'm going to back up and we're going to go back to the previous tutorial, which was 1-6, and just refer back to that picture there for the tags, not 1-6, I'm sorry. Let's go back to 1-3. And then we can look at the diagram to figure out what the doors and windows need to be tagged as. So rather than look at the chart, just look at the drawing of the floor plan. This is back on page 90, I believe. So now we can go in and just renumber these. There we go. So the way you do it is you just pick on the tag, then you pick on the number, the parameter, and then you just hit the number it should be. So this should be number 1. It's going to say you're changing a type parameter, and this should affect all the tags that use the same window. So I'm going to hit OK or yes. And then while we're here, let's move that tag up so it's in the center. So if you look down here, these tags already have updated. That's kind of a neat little feature, I think. I'm going to go ahead and center these up so you can see the alignment line pop in. Okay, so let's work our way down here. So this will be a letter G instead of 57 or whatever number you get. And then let's move these tags out just a little bit. So I'm just going to use my arrow keys to kind of nudge these out. Okay, this door will be F. And this also affects the second floor as well. So when we get ready to tag the second floor, you should see some of the tags already update. This will be E. There we are. And this window will be 6. There we go. I'm going to move this out so it's aligned with the others. And then this window will be, just checking it against my drawing here, this will be 5. There we go. I gotta quit hitting the enter button, huh? Okay, so let's see here. There we go. That's aligned. And down here, this will be window 3. And then we can leave these tags here approximately, because we're too far away from here. I think it's better to show the tags closer to the actual door and window where possible. So this will become H. Let's line up this tag with these other 2. And then this one will be 4. This is going to move also later on, but we're not worried about that right now. This will be 2. Did it again, didn't I? Sorry about that. And then this one we're just going to kind of float nearby. So this will be D. And then this will be B. This will be J. And C. Okay, and then I think our last one is the front door. This will be A. Great. Okay, so one quick check just to make sure I've got everything. That looks okay. So when we get ready to do our door and window schedules, this will tie into that schedule. Okay, so first floor is done. Okay, and then let's go and do the second floor as well. So if you go to page 97, it'll give you the key for the second floor. So let's switch over to the second floor view. There it is. So now, since we already know about door and window tags, we can go ahead and tag them both at the same time. So I'm going to do a tag all. So we're going to check the door tag. We're using the door tag mask family, and then also the window tag. So this tags everything at once. Okay, so let's start up here at the top. So I'm going to drag this tag up so it's in the center. And this one is going to be 8. Since we didn't use this before, this will be the only window with that size. But these 2 windows we've already tagged on the first floor. So we just need to move them into the correct location. And then here's D. I'm going to drag this dimension out a little bit further. And then here's J. There's B. There's D. We'll adjust this dimension a little bit also. 1's already tagged here. This one we haven't used yet, so this is only on the second floor, so this will be 7. And D is already tagged, and so is 1. This is a pretty quick process, I think, once you get the hang of it, I suppose. But it's worth the effort because it'll really make for a better looking drawing when you're all finished. Now, even though this is considered a kind of a door opening, we're not going to tag this or include it. We'll just put a note on there later or something like that. I mean, the drawings that you're doing for this project are not totally complete, but they're pretty close. You can add in your own details, though, as needed. Okay, so I think we've got the second floor done. So let's go back to, let's see. So I just was making sure we finished up everything in 1-7. So we're pretty much there. We're done. Okay, so I'm just going to save the project. So that finishes us up for 1-7. So when we come back for 1-8, we'll be adding in the first floor, garage floor, porch, and driveway slabs. So we'll see you from the next part.